Five. Ah. Ah. Oh. Right there. Ah. Ah. My lats are on fire today. Oh. 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 I'd be very careful about kneeling on my left knee. I want to get all that crap in the frame. Immortal Chickens, how's it going? Forget the neck, it's the wrists. Good to hear. I got a haircut. Hence the clickbait title. You actually did strain your MCL. Well, you got a diagnosis, and now you can put in plans for recovery. Yeah, I went the first year of the pandemic without getting a haircut, and it was making every workout miserable because the hair was just keeping in the heat, and I'm a heat box, and I would turn my apartment into a sauna. It was very unpleasant. Hey, sulfuric. How's it going? Hey, sulfuric. Today, I destroyed my back yesterday. I'm feeling a stretch in my lats to get my arms up. I'm really feeling it today. It's not easy. It's feeling like it's making a fist right in my lat. Right at my rear delts almost. Like right where the shoulder blade comes down. Yeah, and I did a ton of rows. I started off with just pull-ups, but really controlled, just squeezing my lats to pick myself up. And it just took off from there. All right, let's go upside down somewhere. Get my bench out of here. Maybe I'll. Congrats on the job. You start work tomorrow? Well, hopefully you're able to not just meet your monetary needs, but hope it's fulfilling work. A teen aesthetic shoe place. I imagine working in a retail store, you are going to have more in-person interactions in your life than I do by a large factor. So on one hand, I'm a little bit jealous. Big CJ Worth, how's it going? I'm suffering the effects of a really intense back workout yesterday. Like I don't even really want to flex my back too much because I'm really feeling it. And more so, it's really tight. My back normally doesn't get this tight. Once I get to here, it starts tightening up, and I gotta like force the rest of the way. I can feel it. Yeah. Oh, I was on the foam roller to start, and it was agony. Today it's going to be a mix of this and that. I'm going to do one more headstand. Then I'm going to go on the bike for 5-10 minutes. I don't have my phone on me, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to read chat while I'm on the bike. Got my hair cut. Yeah, I started Instagram right around the time I believe, I think I made my Instagram before the pandemic, and I just uploaded some dance videos on there that I had lying around. And then I just put it away and never logged in again until I started streaming on Twitch. Oh yeah, killed it. Got my haircut. I'll probably shave pretty soon. Unless I get feedback otherwise, I've just been keeping the whiskers short enough so it's not getting in my mouth. And then trying to blend in the sides, but no. I experimented trying to bring my hands farther out. Didn't work. I was putting more pressure on my wrist. All right. Tomorrow's legs, but you can't even squat right now. Oh. More. So what do you figure is holding you back from squatting? Is it the glutes? Hamstring curls, because that's the motion that hurts. Oh, yeah, hurts the knee, yeah. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. But yeah, let me think. The problem with leg raises, it's good for building muscle. It's good for building just your quad, but it does it in isolation. It's not a functional exercise, and it puts a fair amount of pressure on the joint. You're taking the joint and squeezing it together. Great exercise, just in moderation. Well, the butt raises, those will make you strong. And even without the weight, right? There's a lot of different variations that you can do. Let's see if I can. So like even, that's the best thing for this. Okay. So you can like take your heels up. If you're just doing your body weight with one leg, you can get you got a ball. You can do more stability stuff. Huh. I feel like I'm not remembering some exercises properly. Yeah, there was one exercise in particular I was thinking about, but I just forgot. Oh well. Yeah. Well, training the hamstring is important, but it's not something you're going to see right away. And I think the glute bridges will help with like a thrusting aspect of a lot of like say you're doing a deadlift, you're hitting your hamstrings a bit, but there's also a thrusting aspect to there. I can help to maybe maintain a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, let's go on the bike for 5 minutes. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab my phone so I can talk to you guys while I bike. Let's get you out of here. Wonder if I can. Yeah, didn't feel that well balanced. Yeah, you're telling me I got bone bruising as well in my knee. But yeah, when I was younger, I worked in construction from when I was 15 to 24 every summer, and I'd be constantly kneeling, often on concrete, and it really did a number to my knees. So even now, my knees are sensitive, and I don't like to kneel on them. But I've got relatively strong knees from regular lunges. If I had to attribute anything to my to my knee health, that would be lunges. Learning proper form, building up a lot of stability around the knee. All right. Yeah, and keep it rare, right? Like, yeah, life is gonna be difficult for a while, but what can you learn from this? And then just realize we're mortal and you gotta take care of yourself, be careful. You can't, it sucks to be injured. It shuts down everything sometimes. Yeah. You can use the bike. Yeah. I wouldn't really recommend pushing yourself too hard right now, but you can still be a little bit active. If you can do it without pain, Like just thinking more active as opposed to like actively straining your body. That might also help with preventing imbalances. Yeah, if you go pretty hard, like you can get a really nice quad workout on a stationary bike. Set the thing for like 45 minutes and go as hard as you can for 45 minutes. It's hard. You walk out of there and your quads are shaking and forget about going up or down any stairs for the time being. Like this, I'm not considering cardio. This, what I'm doing right now, is still physio for my knee. Twice a day, for 5-10 minutes, I just go on the bike. When I do cardio, I'm doing this. This is me doing cardio for an hour straight. But that's not what I'm doing right now. But I still got a fair amount of resistance on here because my machine is actually broken. I plugged the wrong power cord into it. It has the same connector as the power cord for my impact massager, and my impact massager has a lot higher voltage, I believe, and it fried all the circuits in this machine, and it started smoking, and all the electronics died, and I need the electronics to work in order to switch the resistance. So this machine, it's not heavy enough to give me my perfect cardio workout, and it's not really light enough just to lightly pump blood through my legs. I think I got a message on Twitch, but I think if I go to look at it, I'll lose my chat. Ooh. Yeah, it comes down to what you're doing, how hard you push yourself. But when I think cardio, I think I got burning those calories. That for me, when I'm doing cardio, I'm focusing on being as efficient as I can to burn calories. Like this, I'm not really considering cardio. I'm not really doing it for calories. This is just more for some movement based exercise. Maybe a little bit helping a little bit with keeping my heart nice and healthy. But okay, so Stepmaster is a lot better cardio than the stationary bike actually. But it's machine dependent really. But you get on the stair machine, taking your mass and constantly lifting it is very efficient for turning yourself into a calorie burning machine, banging for your buck and all that. All right, it's getting hot in here. That should be enough for that. I can turn my phone off. Let's get some of this stuff away from my feet. Try to maximize how much room I have in this space. Yeah, I don't like to sweat either, but good ventilation and the right temperature blowing on you evaporate all that stuff before it can get uncomfortable and makes a world of difference. All right, so I'm going to set up some dumbbells right now. It doesn't feel like my camera is set up right. It's like the wrong, it's either too close or too far. All right, let's set up some dumbbells. I got props now. All right, I got distracted. That was fun. Both your biceps cramped up? Was that during exercise, or was that you were just sitting there and you flexed once and then suddenly that flex turned into a cramp? Driving for a few hours and you stretched? Yeah. I remember after a lot of really intense workouts, I'd lay in bed at night and I'd stretch and I'd get a cramp, like maybe my legs, and it'll wake you right up, right from a dead sleep to boom, I'm up in less than 1 second flat. Alpha Yoga, how's it going? Thanks for the compliment. I'm really feeling my back today. I can feel it's very tight from my workout yesterday. I absolutely destroyed my back. That just means I'm gonna grow a little bit bigger, get a little bit stronger for next time. You got a job interview and probably making a face like you gotta poop yourself or something because you're just like I don't know, just like, okay, don't let them know I'm in pain right now, but the pain. Even this, right? I come down and I stabilize my arms with my lats, and I can feel my lats are very taxed today. So I actually don't know what I look like from behind. Let's see if you can see my back work. I'll go check out in the video later. How does the muscles look from back there? Oh. From the edge of your forearms down to your lower pec. So from here down to your lower pec. So here to here and then out around the back. I've got stretch marks right here. That's one thing you have to be careful about when if you grow too big too fast. You get particularly a lot of people get it in their shoulders. You get the marks in the shoulders. Do I do any cardio? I just got off the bike. Let me turn off the music for a bit because I just want to dance now. But now it's time to lift some weights. So I have been doing. I haven't been considering it cardio, but for like 10 minutes twice a day, I've been just going on the stationary bike. I got my stationary bike right here, and for me, this is my physio for my knee right now. My cardio, what I will do, which I haven't been doing very much cardio lately. I've been active and I've been healthy. I've been going for walks. We just got a blizzard this week, so everything changed. I think, I guess it was last week. I think we got the blizzard, and it threw all my plans out of whack. So I've been basically staying inside, avoiding the great outdoors while people stop losing their minds in my city. It's like every time we get our first blizzard, everybody forgets how to, I don't know, forgets how to people. But my cardio would be going on the bike for an hour, hour and a half, pumping as hard as I can, trying to burn as many calories as I can, walking off there with sailor legs, feeling, oh man, my legs they're quivering, oh my god. But giving myself a pat on the back. Typically, I'll put on a movie. The typical movie lasts like an hour, 15 minutes to an hour, half an hour, hour and a half. Pitbull cow. Did I say that right? Pitbull cow? Correct me if I anything wrong, but all right, next set. Howdy. I'm regretting turning off my music already to think. I don't do cardio every day. I actually, it depends on if I want to be leaner or not. I am active every day, so I'm always doing something. Even if it's just some stretching, going for a walk. but to basically be as healthy as you can be with cardio. What is it like doing cardio 3 to 4 times a week for like an hour, 45 minutes each time? I think that's what the science is. But it doesn't have to be all out cardio. It could just be tiger camo. Yeah, that's important. You gotta love your body. You gotta. It's the only one you get, and take care of it too. Most important, be healthy. Once you don't have that, everything else just becomes so much more difficult. Like even with your injury, right? Like that just becomes your life for the next 4 months. Spicy tomato soup, how's it going? Everybody's coming in right now. I don't know how much more I can flex my back. I've absolutely destroyed it yesterday. Like, I'm feeling almost in my rear delts right here. It's so tight. I'm trying to lift my arm up. I got sidetracked, and I probably did an hour of just rows. And good times. All right, so I'm going to do one more set of this, then I'm going to increase the weight. Maybe I'll hit my forearms. I want to do dumbbell lat pullovers today. We'll see how, because that's more, it's less contraction of the lats and more stabilization, like pushing under constant tension. You know what succinyl muscles? Is that what YK means? You said it earlier. I didn't know what it was, what was referred to, but then your next couple sentences sort of explained it out for me, so I didn't have to ask. Thank you. You're the first person that's mentioned the haircut. No one's even asked me about my clickbait title. Apparently, from every person, every hairdresser I've had to cut my hair has told me I have the hardest hair to cut that they've ever had to cut before. And twofold. First, I got a couple of cowlicks. I got a cowlick here, a cowlick. I think I got like 2 big cowlicks, 1 small cowlick. And third, my hair is basically as soft like silk. So like I brush my hand through my hair, and it's just so soft that when they cut my hair, they have to just cut it and then see where it falls, and then work from there. I went to the hairdressers. I've been getting my hair cut by the same woman for a while, and she recently opened up her own studio, and she's got 3 workers. And I showed up at the end of the day. It was just her and her 3 workers. They were cleaning up the place, and when Jolene was saying, or when my hairdresser was like telling him, yeah, his hair is so difficult to cut. I'm like, what? Mine? Oh yeah, I've heard that before. I've also gotten some really bad haircuts before, but I'm like, yeah, it's because I have the cowlicks, right? It's like, no, it's because your hair is so soft. And so next thing you know, I have her 3 workers all playing with my hair, trying to like running their hands through my hair. I was like, oh, it's so soft. I was like, yeah, okay. I enjoy the attention. Meanwhile, they were, you can tell that's their, hair is their passion, because up until that point, they were basically ignoring me. They were going about their own thing. Jolene was, who's my hairdresser, was cutting my hair, but also directing some of her staff on what to do. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, it's like, here, let's come play. I don't go to a barber. There's not a lot of people I actually trust to cut my hair, because if I get a bad haircut, it's very easy to do, and then it's very easy to butcher my hair. Like, for example, I have never got a single ingrown hair in my entire life. So like people talk about ingrown hairs. I've never had one in my entire life. My hair doesn't do that. Yeah, since the pandemic, I haven't been doing a lot of stuff regularly. I used to get a massage once every 2 weeks. I've had one massage since the pandemic started. I've got another massage booked for this next Tuesday, and I'm gonna try to do a massage like once a month now, because I'm starting to need it. Right. Ingrown hair is but that's like four, right? Four. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Okay, there. I'll imitate your votes. Yeah. It's the thing is that the bear technique, I do that, and it's not because I can't really reach my back. I can reach my back. Sometimes it'll help if I take this arm and push it. But um, the other day at work, I we have these filing cabinets. One, they're nice and cool, so like if you're having a hot day, just lean on them like oh. But don't tell them I did that. But I had the room to myself, and you have to point like the corner of the filing cabinet. I just lean my back into it, and I'm just like oh, that's like putting the pressure. And I got a deep point accurate tissue pressure, and it was exactly what the doctor ordered. But at the gym, sometimes I just can't be bothered to scratch my own back. They have these pillars coming up and down every once in a while, and I'll just be like, walk up to them and they'll just scratch. Okay, that's better. Go on the other side, scratch. Um, I can do wall stands. I struggle with the balance with handstands. Um, Headstands, I've got the balance pretty well, but my proportions, when I could probably do a handstand if I just throw myself up there and I just try to stay, right? But I want to be able to do it where I get in position almost like upside down pike, and then I actually curl my hips. Like actually, what am I doing? I'm here, and I curl my hips underneath me, and then my legs follow. So I want to do it properly, where I actually, if I go against the wall, I don't want to even jump into it. I don't want to get this here. I don't want to. What do I do? I don't want to like jump. I want to take myself and I want to lift my hips up, and then have my feet follow and do it properly. But I'm still working on it. Go to sleep. Yeah. Good luck on the new job. On good luck on the new job. Good luck on your recovery. And thanks for dropping by. I'm probably gonna let's go up and wait. I'll bring out my fat grips. Yeah, I'm still planning to set up a partner dancing stream sometime soon. We're having a blizzard right now, and that's sort of interrupted my plans. And I'm quite busy with work, but it's on the agenda. My nose is itchy. Have a good night. So my music is going to go back on now. Oh. Yeah, it's funny. My hairdresser made a comment after I got my hair cut. She's, oh, so I'll see you in 6 months, right? So she's like, oh, happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. See you in 6 months. Yeah, she asked me what I wanted. I'm lady's choice, right? Just I trust you, make me look good. The only thing I care about is my hair was starting to get into my eyes, and I don't want to worry about my hair getting in my eyes, particularly with how soft it is. And my hair's not even really that fine, so my hair is pretty thick, but it's very soft. But yeah, so I guess I get my haircut once every like 4 to 6 months these days. Maybe that's even generous, but on the other side, I tip her well, so that should make up for it. I think I tip like $50 this haircut. Dancing, well, I wouldn't say dancing, but music makes every workout better. Well, what's funny, depending on how much I weigh, I really look like a different person because it actually changes the size of my face. Like I've been at a point where like you'd see the muscle in my face. Like when I was at my peak genetics, like when I hit my peak fitness, Like you'd see the you could see the muscle in my face. It was and then 2018, I was big. I was pretty lean, but then I herniated my disc, tore my glute, and I dropped like 60 pounds like that. My face changed to the point where a different person. I've also got several sizes of clothing in my closet in preparation of being different body sizes, particularly my suits. Yeah, I've got a going in the future. I will definitely keep track of my progress, and I think I still have it in me for some last huzzas. Um, Before too much more time passes, I want to get down to 5% body fat. I also I might bulk and see how much, and just go for putting on like just see actually going for like a muscle, I don't know, muscle building with Bazanza. See how much I can put on, but that involves training differently. And we're talking like another 2 years, but nothing happens really quick unless you start taking something that you weren't before. How does it look like from behind? Losing my grip. Oh. Oh. So about an hour in, I'm gonna go check the video later, see if you can see my back flexing while I'm doing biceps. Because I'm feeling myself stabilize, right? I'm locking myself down and squeezing. Any thoughts on something I don't know? Are you trying to make me say something that sounds, I can always Google it. So it's an amino acid. And it's used for several medical, to resolve several medical issues as well. So WebMD says it works for what it's intended. Yeah. For the most part, I leave supplements to be supplementary, where I get my nutrition primarily through food, and then with a balanced diet, um, all I really have to focus on is my protein and how many calories I'm eating. Um, my supplements include a veggie and berry shake first thing in the morning, and I drink that with straight flax oil because like that stuff's nasty. It doesn't matter how many years I've been having it. It like burns the throat a little bit on the way down, and I literally I take a chug of it. It comes in a bottle that looks like what a medicine man would hawk on the side of a road back in the 1900s. So I'll take a swig of that, and I'll go right. I'll take a swig of my veggie and fruit shake, and then I'll typically have protein whey and protein isolates after a workout. And aside from that, that's all I take. But amino acids have their use. Yeah, sorry, I guess I'm just a little bit distrustful too. I get a lot of people on here who try to make me say bad words. The first one was actually the best, and it made me laugh. He's like, "Hey, how many sets of this thing can you do?" And then then normally you say to yourself, like either you would brag about how many sets of this made up thing that's when you say it is like reads as something that would be normal, but when you say it, it's derogatory, but only at myself. And then, or you ask about it, and then you're still saying it. So, oh, feel the stretch. Thanks for the follow, calendar 103. I usually miss the follows because it doesn't. I spend my time looking at the chat, looking at the screen, but my follow bar is actually pretty small comparatively. All right, so next time. Oh. Well, problem is I've already got a competitive personality, and if I compete, I want to win. And as things are, it's easy for me to stay natural because, one, I'm not competing against anybody, aside from maybe myself. If anything, the person I'm competing against is myself 3 years ago. But I have been like stage ready before. My 10th year high school reunion, I was 225 pounds with an 8. Well, actually, that wasn't when I was stage ready, but it was around that time. But I have 6 abs that you can see right now. I got another 2 that are buried beneath fat, as well as in order to get them to pop out, I have to do a lot of constant work just for a little bit of visibility. But I have been stage ready before, and that was just to let myself know that I could do it. And I've done the diet. I've done the 24-hour water fast, where you basically drink all the water you want. If you're doing all the cardio, then you cut yourself off cold turkey. You wake up, and what do? The first thing you do is you pee out all your water because your body is expecting its next regular dose of like a constant water shipment, and then suddenly it doesn't get it. And so suddenly you've gotten rid of a lot of the excess water, and then without that resupply, it doesn't take as long to take all the water from out between your skin and your muscle. So your skin like sticks to you like saran wrap. If I were to compete, I'd probably prefer powerlifting right now, even if I don't think I'd win for my weight class. But I don't necessarily do pure bodybuilding anymore. When I started off, it was pure bodybuilding, and it's only recently that I've been feeling I should do more bodybuilding for sculpting, particularly in my legs. Because I've been doing a lot of compound lifts, a lot of squats, and I'm strong, but there's a lot of stabilization aspects that are going on that you're not really taxing the muscle tissue in the leg as efficiently as some of the machines do. And a couple weeks before I injured my knee, I started primarily machine leg based workouts, and I was lighting up my legs, and I was feeling like a Christmas tree. It was great. But then I injured myself, and I gotta be careful with my knee. And particularly with machines, if they put me through a plane of motion that's not that puts a little pressure on my joints, I don't want to re-hurt myself. Can bodyweight training replace weight training? It can. I'll give you an example. What do you think of Mike Tyson when he was in his prime? My nose is itchy again. Mike Tyson, when he was at his most ripped, all he did was calisthenics, nothing else. It comes down to hypertrophy and as much volume of hypertrophy that you can get in week by week, month after month, over several years. That's what's going to get you bigger muscles. And bodyweight exercises, there's a lot of really good progressions there. So it can start it all off like you could be doing push-ups on your knees, and then you could be doing some like crazy things at the end. Get a pair of rings hanging from the ceiling, and I got bit by a mosquito or something. But my back, a lot of that's just from pull-ups. Pull-ups are my favorite exercise. I can do muscle-ups or some other calisthenic things, but there's different ways of training. You can train for more volume to hypertrophy, or you can cut back the amount of reps until you're pushing your muscles to failure. But a lot of calisthenics isn't easy, and the act itself of trying harder, so as you get stronger, you're going to need more stimulus you're going to need more effort to get the stimulus that you want on the muscle for growth. And bodyweight exercises do have that. There's a lot of stuff you can always do to make it more difficult on yourself. As you get heavier, you're lifting more weight. It's just if you're starting off at like 300 pounds, there are certain exercises that are going to be hard on your joints that you're going to want to really ease up the difficulty on. And it will be difficult enough just because you're moving more mass, even if the exercises themselves are tailored down. Progressive overload is a method to constantly achieve hypertrophy. The aim is hypertrophy, and there's different things you can do to make the exercises harder on yourself. That's what progressive overload is. You're like, as you're getting stronger, you're making the exercises harder, and you're doing it step by step, right? If you go too hard, it's not as efficient as steady progress, where after your workout, your muscles think, I was almost strong enough today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear myself down, and tomorrow or next time, I'm going to be a little bit better, be a little bit stronger, and I'll be able to perform the task that's demanded of me. I don't know why I grabbed these dumbbells. Yeah. Yeah, the main component is hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the stimulus that generates muscle growth, and then you need to recover. So you get the stimulus, and then turn on the muscle, get the stimulus, and then you actually have to recover for the muscle to actually grow. You need protein, which is the building blocks that muscle is made out of. But even myself, I haven't always done the most efficient thing all the time. There's some things that I do just because I like to do it. So up until recently, once a month, I would go to a playground or something, or a pull-up bar, and I do 400 pull-ups in one session. The last time I did this was actually back in my birthday in July. So back in July, my birthday present to myself was 400 pull-ups. I probably spent about an hour swinging between the bars and jumping and doing Ninja Warrior stuff, doing muscle-ups. But then in the end, I'm like, okay, let's get down to business and just pull-ups. I did do 2 different types of grips, neutral and just your standard pull-up, just so that I could, particularly with my forearms, so I could sort of give myself some more recovery period. But the trick for doing volume is you don't go to failure. Like if you're like, I'm not, this isn't hypertrophy. This is just tons of pull-ups, doing a challenge of some sort. It comes down to, if you take yourself down to failure, you might only have 3 sets to failure in you for that exercise that big. And then every time your quality of your peak output is going to go down. So if you, like for myself, I can do like 30 pull-ups at once. Well, I'm only doing 10. And then once 10, but I finished 400 pull-ups without 10 pull-ups being too difficult, except the last 30. The last 30 were like I hit a wall and exhaustion kicked in, and they were the hardest things I've done in a long time, those last 30 pull-ups. Whereas the first 370 were just, I breezed by. And it's like cardio in sports too, right? Some people they like their sport, or they like doing their cardio. They want to train for like a cycling competition. Well, when you're training for that and you're training hard, it's too hard on the body, and the rest of your muscle, like you only have so much recovery in you. My music's getting loud and obnoxious here. You only have so much recovery in you that because of your cardio, because of your sport, you're only able to do resistance training 2-3 times a week. Just because if you go any more than that, you're not going to recover. And so over time, you do that for like 3 years, maybe you would have an extra 5 pounds of muscle if you didn't do all that cardio. Or if you didn't play that sport, and if you focused on just progressive overload, that like a program based on progressive overload, where you're doing the compound lifts, bench, squat, leg press, front squats, pull-ups, some sort of or like rows, deadlifts, and progressive overload, and you can build more muscle that way, just because you're able to get more volume of hypertrophy in, whereas you can't get that extra volume of hypertrophy in because you're too worn out from all the cardio, or the cardio itself tears down the muscle so much that it's not efficient for muscle growth. That can happen as well. How do you get your waist smaller? That's more difficult. It comes down to first being leaner. Second, all right, so small waist. Once you start doing really heavy deadlifts, right? If you just start lifting heavy weights, your waist is going to get a little bit thicker. You're going to get more muscle around the ab region, and that's like almost like when people wear their powerlifting belts. That stability, that strength that's required just to lift those heavy weights. Often people will find that like myself included, that my waist got less skinny as you get more thick. But but you shouldn't stay away from like lifting. It just comes down to how you're lifting, and how hard you push yourself on what exercises. But there's a limit in there, right? There's also genetics, so that's the second part. Some people can train like that and still have like amazing genetics. Like you look at there's another streamer. His name is Destroyed, right? He's just thick, all the way down. He's got a thick back, but he's also got he's just solid. But that comes from just lifting a crap ton of heavy weights, doing lots of deadlifts, just picking weights up off the floor, and doing you start doing some more strongman type training, and just picking up heavy weights has effect on making it thicker. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad thing. If you're focusing more on a thin waist, it comes down to your best bet is just to stay lean. The leaner you are, the less abdominal fat you're going to have, and then as well as just build a big back, right? It's not so much when your waist is skinny; it's when you got the proportion sizes where wide back, skinny waist, right? So do more pull downs, do more rows, increase the width of your back, and what will often happen first, what happens with a lot of people, is the upper section gets thicker first, and then over time, the rest sort of fills out as the smaller muscles, which take a longer time to grow, have time to really develop. See, strength and muscle aren't the same philosophies. They are just correlated. Strength, first and foremost, comes from the nervous system, whereas muscle is more like an engine. But so you have your muscle tissue. You got like a circle. Let's just say it's a circle. It's like whatever muscle it is, and it has a certain amount of cross-sectional area. The strength comes from utilizing all of that cross-sectional area. It's getting more network from your brain, like more mind-muscle connection, getting more muscle fibers involved in the lift. It's the motor patterns that your body, muscle memory that your body learns and inhabits. It's having it's a lot like just having a healthy body in general. A lot of where weakness comes from, a lot of what will hold people back is they might have one weakness, and if you have that weak link is going to govern what you're capable of doing. Like if you've herniated your disc, or say you've torn something before and it's a lingering injury, or even if it's just your body is imbalanced, like maybe it's your forearms, maybe you don't have the grip to carry through a lot of these exercises. That's but if you asked do you lose strength if you lose muscle? Not necessarily for muscle size. There are different ways of training to get the most size of muscle. You are getting hypertrophy, where you are tearing down the muscle as much as you can while still being able to recover from that muscle damage. Whereas if you take another type of strength, right? So I got something like this that's not going to move. If I put pressure on my chest, like I'm using my chest and I'm squeezing it, I'm trying to squeeze it together, right? This is hard. You can build a lot of strength this way, but it doesn't tear the muscle down as much. So there are, and I can give you examples that you can relate to that you could understand why people would want to be strong with less muscle. Any type of sport or say combat competition where you are competing in a weight class. So you have to build on as much strength as you can while being under a certain size so that you will have the biggest advantage that you can have, right? Like MMA, they're not training like bodybuilders. You'll see them at the end, they'll be jacked, but a lot of that is just from being lean, like because they're first and foremost lean. But a lot of the training, it's like you're training, you're grabbing somebody's wrist and like you're holding against somebody who's resisting against you, and it's like two bulls with their horns stuck together and they're pushing. It's there's strength in that, but that isn't very destructive on the muscle tissue. You'll get strong, but it's not going to build as much muscle right away. So there are ways to train aside from your typical like, oh, I'm going to do a set of 3 because I'm strength training now. Oh, I'm going to do a set of 10 to 12 because I'm building muscle now, right? That's like powerlifting versus bodybuilding, but it's like you don't need to think of it just as like, oh, I'm just doing like my 1 rep max and I'm going to get stronger compared to bodybuilding where like, oh, I'm just going to build more muscle. What happens though is like if you're training for strength, the strength is going to come first and the muscle is going to follow along afterwards. Whereas if you're training for like you just want to build muscle, the muscle will get there and then you will become stronger because you have that muscle. But then you look at somebody else, and so at the same time, you might have more muscle, but not be as strong as you would have been. Like you have 2 twins. One twin goes the bodybuilding route, one twin goes the powerlifting route. The one who goes the bodybuilding route is almost guaranteed to be like I'm talking like they've gone down the road a couple of years and lots of development on both sides. They put in. It's hard to have equal amount of training, but they train effectively for their discipline. The bodybuilder is going to be bigger, but still not as strong as their counterpart twin, who's focused on powerlifting and has just gotten really good at lifting heavy weights. No. If you're natural, you have a smaller window for optimization. That's what happens. Like when you're like steroids, other PEDs, they help you recover from muscle damage faster. There's hormones involved that also give you some more benefits for your workouts themselves. But a lot of people, particularly fighters, they're not taking steroids to get big. They're taking it so that they can recover and that they can train like 5 hours for their competitions 2 hours, right? So if you get like say like even 1/3 more training in than your competition over a set period of time, that's going to be a big advantage for you. You go to the training camp, you're training. Well, if you're recovered, you're not tearing your body down. You are going to have a competitive advantage. But when you're natural, it's if you want to train like a bodybuilder, you have and with typical ideas, you're going to go progressive overload. You're going to put together a proper plan. Well, first of all, your diet. If you want to like hit the peak, your diet has to be a lot more stringent, and you have less windows for everything. You have less windows for recovery. You got less windows for everything down the line. It's because PEDs work. That's what it comes down to. But you don't need to train as effectively as possible to get results. You train for a year, you try hard, you're going to get a lot of results. You're going to get results like you can't believe. You train for 2 years, you're going to get more results, but it's going to start to slow down. It takes 4 years of perfect training naturally to hit your peak genetics based off of science. But that's not like not the peak, but that's like 90 point something percent of your peak. You're looking at 10 years to get what you want naturally, whereas with PEDs, you can get that in 3. You can get like 10 years of training in a year and a half if you're compared to natural compared to PED. But PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, don't lift the weights for you. They don't ensure you're eating your diet. Most people who actually take performance enhancing drugs won't be able to build as defined of a body as I have. It's not like a one track fits all cheat, but it's like a fast track on the path to the end. And then even more than that, it also takes the finish line and takes it many yards into the distance. So where you'd end up is completely different at the peak, natural or not natural. Myself, I do a hybrid between bodybuilding and strength training. I do a fair bit of calisthenics. But I like my favorite exercises, if I'm doing a row or something, I'll start off a little bit lighter, and I'll like if I'm doing cable rows, I'll keep ramping up the weight until I find a weight where I can only do 10, and I stay there as long as, so I like to, like 10 to 12, and I'm struggling on the 10th or 12th one, and then that's where I like to stay. I like to stay there until the quality of my sets drops, and then I'll move on to another exercise. And over time, what I want to see is I want to see myself, that weight that I'm only able to do 10 of, I want to see that weight increasing over time to the point where I'm maxing out the cables, and I'm pulling and still doing a set of 10. Where like in the past, maybe that would have been my like 2 rep max, and now suddenly I'm doing, or like I'm doing like 50 pounds more a set of 10 than I was a couple years in the past. So how has my body changed? I was 140 pounds, 145 at the heaviest, from when I was like 16 to when I was 24. And then when I was 24 is when I started lifting weights. Before that, I would work in construction, but I was really lean. I could do chin-ups forever. Like I was so light, I could just throw the chin-ups, and I was very wiry. In construction, a lot of it was just carrying stuff. So I'd have stuff and I just carry it. And then so it's that type of strength where I have stuff in a bucket, and I'd throw in like the debris, I'd knock something down with a hammer, throw it in there, grab it, and I'd carry it out. But it's a lot of straining type of weight, so it was more strength. There wasn't a lot of muscle tissue. If anything, when you're working in construction, I wasn't, like sometimes I do a plane, like if I'm standing something, but your body wants to find ways to make exercise easier. And if you're working for 12-hour days, you're not going to want to tear down your muscles for 12 hours straight. So you go about it a little bit differently. But then whenever I was done, I would run home from anywhere in the city. I used to run everywhere. I loved running. I played badminton before the pandemic, and before my herniated disc and torn glute, I still did. And then at 24 is when I started training. My first year, I put on a lot of weight. So my first year, I put on like 40 pounds. I wasn't super lean at the time, but I started training for the first couple months at home, just with a pair of dumbbells, and all I did was arm stuff every day. I became a twig with arms. Like I was a twig, but I had a pair of arms on me. And then I was sitting at Dairy Queen with my ex one day, And I looked out the window, and there was some guy walking around who had, actually, no, this is the wrong story. So I saw him at the gym who had the V, right? And I'm like, I want that. So I started training my back like crazy, like 3 times a week. I was training my back, and I was training hard. So I was just barely recovering. And over like 3 months, I had a really good, like I'm talking like really cut V. My waist still hadn't, like I went from a twig to, I was a twig down here with a V. And then, I was with my ex at a Dairy Queen, and I was watching some guy walking down the street, and he had massive triceps. And I'm like, I want that. So at the end of every one of my workouts, so for 15 minutes a day, I do tricep exercises, and then my triceps have just exploded. But right now, my triceps are actually as small as they've ever been since maybe a year and a half into training. So my triceps are actually pretty thick, but they don't have the size and the girth to them that they've always had in the past. But I haven't been spending the effort on them as well. So I've been focusing more on my compound lifts, less so on isolation and just tearing down the muscle until like feeling the burn and then starting to count the reps. So then I was my biggest and strongest at 28. So 4 years in, I was training like a madman. Like I did everything perfect. I was focused. I was crazy. I was just like I would suffer. I would do everything I had to do. I was smart though. I talked with nutritionists. I had a plan. I followed my plan. And 4 years, I was my peak, and like for strength and just for like size. And then I caught Lyme disease, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew something was wrong. Suddenly I had no energy. I wanted to sleep 24 hours a day, and it was rough. It took me maybe 6 months to get diagnosed. But after I was diagnosed, I was able to be cured. But in the meantime, I lost a lot of muscle. Like I lost so much muscle that more than any other, well, not more than any other time, but like it was a lot of muscle. And so almost from like not ground 0, but maybe like ground 2, like 2 out of 10. And then I started working myself up again. So I all the way down here, did it all over again. But I trained a little bit differently. I tried out more, I got into more things. I've done powerlifting. I've dabbled in Olympic lifting. I suck at Olympic lifting. It's not for me. It's the one thing I just don't enjoy it because I'm not that good at it. Not so much I'm not that good at it. It just doesn't come to me naturally. I got involved in a circus group, and I did a whole bunch of stuff, and I was I got my size back again. And in 2018, I herniated my disc and I tore my glute. And then, I always had I had a massive pair of legs on me. I cared about my back, I cared about my legs, I cared about my triceps. That's 2018. That's all I cared about: triceps, back, legs, and my chest. I just find it very easy to put a lot of volume in really easily. So I've never had a problem maintaining the size of my chest with almost minimal effort. So I'm lucky that way. But when I herniated my disc and I tore my glute, I couldn't train legs for about 2 years. And in those 2 years, in the first 2 months, my legs shrivel up in real time. My legs are shriveling up every day, and to the point where I was like this. I was the upside down bottle, and it was very frustrating. And it wasn't until 2020 that I could train my legs again. I couldn't pick up the bar off the ground. I couldn't pick up anything off the ground. I had to bring a shelf to put my weights on because I couldn't get anything up off the ground. I was working around an injury. I did everything I was supposed to. I recovered, and my legs are strong right now. They're just not shaped the way I like them because they're nowhere near like my quads don't pop like they used to. Like all that definition, my legs are more just thick but not as well defined. I need to really focus on well, not focus, but I need to throw in more isolation exercises for my quads, for my calves. And it's going to be a lot of work. Like to get where I'd be happy with them, it's going to be like 2 years of work. You get a lot of tension. You get a lot of tension from everyone. Women's there. You wonder if I get the same experience. I get more appreciation from guys, whereas most of the women in my life, I have a lot of, like, before the pandemic, I interacted with a lot of women through partner dancing primarily, as well as I see women at the gym, but it's more about how they care more about how you treat them. There's so like they go around their lives with men out there making them uncomfortable, and it's like often I would face stereotypes from women who like, oh, this guy, he's got to be on steroids, and he's going to act a certain way because he's got muscles, and people with muscles act a certain way. I got stereotyped more by women until I was able to interact with them, and I'm able to very quickly blow away all those misconceptions. I'm easy to make friends. I just treat people how I like, well, how I want to be treated, but also how I want to be nice to people. I like but at the same time, I've had a lot of women who told me that they were specifically not attracted to muscles, but that did nothing to prevent them from being attracted to me. And so for my thought here, but yeah, like when it comes down to the gym, I typically don't interact with women at the gym unless we've seen around unless we've sort of been in each other's space for a while, and they are coming up to me friendly, because one, I don't want to be the guy who's annoying women at the gym. Two, I don't want my gym is my church, so my gym to me is sacred. I don't want the shit where I eat. I don't want to have drama there. I don't want to have relationships where they go sour and then suddenly there's awkwardness and all that. Like I just don't want that at my gym. Whereas, like not too long ago, I had a woman come up to me to hit on me at the gym, and I was just friendly, and then got out of there. It's like played the dense guy, but at the same time is just like gave off like not interested. Don't want that at the gym. Whereas so you've had women stare at you for 20 minutes and not get a text afterwards. A lot of that is cultural as well. It like depends on where you're from, because there are certain places where like the culture is you go to a bar and two guys, their eyes meet and then they're expected to fight. It's like I don't understand that, but there's places that's where the culture, that's what the cultural interactions are. There are places where like it depends, and like for that. So sometimes the women might be like, okay, I'm showing you my attention. Now you have to do now you have to woo me, right? Now it's on you, right? like you got to do the work, but I'm gonna give you the ball now. But now come in and put in some work if you want to. Yeah, that happens. There could be many, like, without much more context. It could be a wide variety of reasons, but. And then as for, I never did answer your question how I tore my glute. I tore my glute getting up off of the toilet. So I herniated my disc on a job site in a swamp, and I basically crawled out of that swamp. And then, like 2 days later, I was sitting down on the toilet. I went to go get up, and my glute just tore, and it was like hanging on by a thread. I was stuck in like a position like this for hours. I couldn't move. I was just stuck, thinking, crap. Like, and it was just so like the blinding pain. But I'm sitting there, I can't move. I can't move. And so I finally got to the bedroom by scrunching my toes on the floor like this. I was able to fall into bed, and then I laid there with because like my phone was on the bed, and I laid there thinking, okay, if I can't tolerate this pain anymore, I'm gonna have to call 911. Ambulance is gonna come in, break my door down, but let's just try to tolerate this. And then I did, but it was absolute agony. I'll never forget that night. Longest bloody night of my life. I'm just chatting now. Okay, I want to do one more exercise, and I'm just going to do it. I want to do my dumbbell lat pullovers. I don't have my music on. Let's turn on some music again. All right, so how do I want to set this up? If I think I'll do this angle right here. Oh man, this stretch. I only want to do this exercise so I can get the stretch here. I am so stiff in my lats. Where is this weight? Oh, this is going to be so difficult today. I'm going to need a heavy weight just to pull my arms down. Oh. So that was a good warm-up. So why is that exactly? For myself, there are a couple of things that. First, the gym has been a social aspect of my life, and at home it's a little bit more difficult. Like, there's just not that. Second, there's a lot of distractions at home. It's nice to have a purpose. I am going to spend 10 minutes going to the gym, work out for an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours, whatever you're doing, come back, 10 minutes, that's like purpose, right? As opposed to you're at home, and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to work out now, but let's just watch this movie. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. And then next thing you know, you don't have your workout. And then third, there's just so much more. I turned my place into a sauna, and I hate it. I don't like sweating. I like great ventilation, wide open spaces. And then the fourth one is the ease of access of everything. Here, I have to thread my weights. I got to put things together. At the gym, it's just clunk, clunk, go. And then add more clunk, go, right? Or you get a cable, it's like chunk, 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 and yeah, you just go. You get to your machines. All you do is you walk from one place to another. Also space. So that's I think I'm on 5 now. I like the gym for space. I'll do a couple workouts. Like I'll finish off a couple sets of whatever I'm working on, and then before I go to the next exercise, I might just walk a lap around the gym just to clear my head. Go for water, come back. That's almost like therapeutic. It gives me time to really wind down. There's times like I do my farmer's walk to the gym. Banda, how's it going? Good to see you. Squats are hard. Yes, squats are hard without equipment. Yeah, cable machines. If I know what my perfect home gym would be. I would need a bar off the side of the building that I could do my muscle ups on. I'd want a setup that's a squat rack, but it's also got the cable flies on it, as well as rows. Then I just have like a rack with all the various dumbbells I want. Have different types of benches. You're doing well. Good to hear. How much longer you have on your internship? Time flies. It's probably already been like 4 months since you told me about that, and I think you. So I had a really, really intense back workout yesterday, and my lats are super tight. I only want to do these before I finish off tonight, so that I can use the weight to open me up right here. Oh. I don't even think I'm going to go heavy. Yeah, this exercise isn't working out for me right now. My back is too beat up. 7 to 8 months. How's Canada with the lockdown? The second lockdown hit me hard. And then after that, it's just been frustrating with how the policies are changing every day, and they're not science-based, they're political-based, narrative-based. And then we're still playing the numbers game where we allow a bunch of things, the numbers start to go up, so we start disallowing things until the numbers go down, and then once we decide it's tolerable, then we start to allow this, allow that. But what we allow is no rhyme or reason. Pretty much everything is considered an essential service, so. Yeah, I think I'm about done with my workout. I talked myself out of my best reps for the night, I think. Let's see who's still on. All right. I don't know anybody on right now. I got some whispers. Let's browse. Hey, there's me. All right. Not this one. So that's a rerun. Hmm. Let's trade this guy. Well, the protein ratios really start to break down at certain body weights as well as say like how much muscle you have on you for like how tall you are. But my philosophy is for myself, I can't like I'm not worried about having too much protein. I like my protein. I will bombard myself with protein. It's filling. It's not necessarily low in calories for a lot of the meats you have. Like you have meat, you gotta know what your proportions are. But I just have a little bit of meat with every meal. Eat throughout the day. Oh, but I think I'm gonna be taking off. Thanks for chatting with me all. Um, didn't glad you're able to catch the stream there, Mr. Banda. And let's go flex. I don't have the energy for that right now. My back is absolutely tired of. Okay, now I gotta flex my back. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Let me know next time whether I should shave or not. Bye bye. Bye.